So, resolution. Kind of a dull episode. Actually, no, it's not. It's not a dull episode. There's a lot happening in this episode. There's a lot of interesting stuff in this episode. However, we have a rather dull doctor in this episode, which is a bit sad because this is the Dalek episode. There are Daleks. There's been no greater test for the Doctor, in my opinion, and probably in the opinion of others, for the Doctor. That the Doctor's real test, how you really assess this Doctor, any new Doctor, is have them meet the Daleks. And that's really more of a new Who thing, sort of. And from a fan standpoint, yeah, the Daleks are fun, but we usually get a slightly stronger performance from each actor because there's a shared history with the Daleks that the Doctor doesn't really have with any other enemy save the Master. And especially because of the Time War and the events of that, because even if Day of the Doctor sort of retconned the events of, the Doctor destroying Gallifrey to save the universe, all of time and space, from the war with the Daleks, it still plays an important role because the Daleks have still continued to push the Doctor. Like, usually when the Doctor battles the Daleks, it always feels like a sort of a hollow victory. Like, yeah, I've won, but I may have seen something about myself I didn't want to see, or I've lost something great, whether it be Rose, whether it be, Oswin Oswald, or whether it just be the fact, you've killed so many people, and I was barely able to, get this win up. Like, consider like a story like the Apocalypse element, which is the Daleks invading Gallifrey, like properly invading Gallifrey. And the Doctor points out exactly how dangerous this is, or the fact that there's a War Doctor story where the Daleks take 1,000 worlds and plan to fire them at Gallifrey at like 10,000 times the speed of light. All right, they enslaved and all but destroy those planets to do that. All those people. That's what the Daleks do. Or the fact they nearly wiped out a group from in the Gallifrey series, nearly reduced a population of like 2 billion to 10,000. All right, that's just inconceivable. This is what the Daleks are, and usually from the Doctor we get a really great performance. Remember the 9th Doctor meeting the Dalek in the episode Dalek, or the 10th Doctor who, when he sees the Daleks take Manhattan, he goes, well, Daleks in Manhattan, he goes, they just keep coming back. I lose everything and they keep coming back. Or the 11th Doctor, when he declares to the Dalek, who's pretending to be everyone's friend, like, you are my enemy and I am yours. Right? You are the worst thing I despise. Alright? And that's great. Or the fact that when the 12th Doctor is trying to communicate with Rusty and into the Dalek, and he's trying to change the Dalek, he sees the hatred in him, and the Dalek says to the Doctor, you would make a good Dalek. You are a good Dalek. And the Doctor is a bit shaken by that. It poses the question of, am I a good man, Clara, to a new level. And not every episode or interaction with the Dalek has to be that groundbreaking, or anywhere near that, but they should at least come off as a threat to the Doctor. And this episode did not do that. Okay, the Doctor spends more time sort of joking with the Dalek and even making a speech, or even everything that we would expect the Doctor to do. But once again, Jodie doesn't do anything with her performance. It pretty much feels the same as everything else. Every threat is the same to this Doctor. And that would be great from like, okay, we got this, we can do this. But then when it gets serious, it's then undercut with a joke, or she doesn't push herself in the right way. And yeah, I'm not the director, I'm not Jodie, I don't control this performance, and it's subjective. But to me, I think that this story is hurt the most by this acting, by this direction, which says that she cannot come off as desperate, or that she's running out of options, because this Dalek gets the jump on her a couple of times. He all but said, the reason I'm letting you trap me here is because I want to get a good look at you and I want to jam your signal, and I'm out. And that's what happens. Like, this Dalek is one step ahead of her each time, and she doesn't really respond properly to it. Even when he flies off, she's like, I forgot how long a rel was. I'm like, oh, okay, that doesn't matter. What I want to see this Doctor feel desperate. I want to see this Doctor feel trapped and feel like there's no way out, or at the very least get angry. I want to see her snap at someone who makes a joke about how dangerous the Daleks are, and this did not do that. She's even weirder, and this wasn't the fault of Jodie or this doctor's direction. It was just really weird that the doctor had to interject herself into Ryan and Aaron's issues. We're like, oh, you're the dad, and she goes on like a speech about how you're kind of like a bad dad and whatnot. I'm like, no one needed her to tell us that. She didn't have to speak for Ryan. Ryan can speak for himself and his relationship with his dad. All right, and Graham did a great job too. Even why do I not mind when he speaks about, because he's part of that family. Yes, they're all family. Graham even gives the talk about family's not about blood or DNA or name. It's about the connection, about who's there for you. But the fact remains is that Graham was close to Ryan and Grace, and that's how their relationship works. That's how the connection works. And Graham worked from being Graham to granddad or grandpa. And Graham even calls him son. And granted, was probably sort of a jab to Aaron. But the doctor sort of interjecting herself into it, what she should have said, oh, you're Ryan's dad, and just sort of walks off like, like, I don't want to talk to you. And just goes off and that. We get it. We already know the exact issues that we as the audience, that she also knows as much as we do by that point, as to exactly what Ryan's relationship with his dad is. So she didn't have any reason to be a part of it. This was my also issue with Demons of the Punjab. Alright, my only issue with that episode from a doctor's standpoint, along with, again, her acting, although it was a bit better in that one, was she had to talk about what her faith was, which, that was, you can say it's a nitpick, but I didn't need her to talk about her at someone else's wedding. Just a thing. All she did was like, love is a sort of faith, and gone from there. But whatever. It was just really weird that she has to interject herself, or that she has to almost sort of speak for other people in situations that don't require her. Also, this one has nothing to do with this doctor. Why is Unit gone? Why do we make a joke about Wi-Fi and people having to interact with each other? Again, why are we undercutting the tension? Why is Unit gone for a Brexit joke? Okay, so yeah, overall this episode, let's just call it what it is. Aaron's character is a bit of a mess. The resolution's a bit of a mess when it comes to Ryan and Aaron, but whatever. Hopefully it's done. We'll never have to look back on it again. And do none of them have jobs? When is the last time Yaz has been at her job? Whatever. The Doctor is the weak point. The Dalek is great. The actress that plays Lynn is great. I love the idea of a reconnaissance Dalek. I don't care about the internet complaining that some gay dude was killed 25 seconds in, because a bunch of people killed 25 seconds in. So stop complaining. There's no greater quality in Doctor Who than to be killed by a Dalek. Just saying. Chris Chibnall recently talked in an interview about how, talking about, political topics in Doctor Who is sort of fundamental. And this goes back to the idea that, sci-fi has always been political. It always has had political elements. And Doctor Who is no stranger to that. Stories like the Happiness Patrol, that's political. I think the Peladon story is political. And there's plenty of, some of my favorite audios are political. The Marion Conspiracy, Live 34, the Doctor Who and Sci-Fi, most fans don't care that your story's political, Chips. Our problem is you aren't good at it. I've said it before. What is SJW writing? What SJW writing is writing that instead of actually talking about the issue and presenting it in an interesting way for the story, you're spending more time preaching to the audience about how good you are, as opposed to how the story should be. And that's the problem, Chibs. You got rid of Unit to make a joke about Brexit. And I'm only going to forgive you for it, Chibs, is if this becomes part of a story which brings Unit back. Why isn't Unit back? Why did you make a joke about Wi-Fi? Why can't you keep the tension, Chibs? Anyway, I think at this point I'm just essentially rambling like a butthurt fanboy, and I have better things to do with my time, like rant about comic books and other things that's going to happen in Doctor Who, because I'm kind of a butthurt fanboy. Anyway, we'll bring this video to a close here. If you guys liked Resolution, or if you didn't like Resolution, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there's something I forgot to complain about. Maybe there's some brilliance I missed, other than Lynn's brilliant performance, how great that Dalek is, not the design, just the character, and Graham once again. Or maybe there was something else I missed. Maybe I'm being too mean to this Doctor. Anyway, leave your thoughts down in the comment section. Feel free to check out some other videos on the channel, and I will catch you all later. This is the Bucket Think Tank signing off. May your fandom serve you well.